Why do we feel unfulfilled when we're doing what we thought we wanted to do? Why we still feel empty? I'm going to share a quick personal story of mine on this to help shine the torch on this one a little deeper for you guys. A few years back now, I was in a committed relationship, right? And for me, I thought I wanted that relationship because so much of me did. And what I did was I gave up so much of who I was in order to be in that. Okay, I gave up my job, my livelihood, a lot of my social interactions. I gave up a lot of friends. I even gave up the location of where I wanted to live because this is what I thought it took to be in a committed relationship. I thought I had to give up all of these things in the name of compromise, when really I was just compromising who I was, right? Rather than compromising other aspects of my life that helped build a healthy relationship. I compromised who I was at the, and it came at the expense of me. But this was what I thought it took to have a relationship. Little did I know I was playing into a lot of the challenges of that other person who was my partner at the time, right? So why did a relationship that had so much that I actually liked, which I haven't mentioned yet, feel so unfulfilling? Well, it's because of what I just said to you. Everything that was leading towards this relationship and what it took to be in it, okay? At its core, at its absolute core, I wasn't me. I'd lost who I was. I'd lost my way. I had to give up everything that made sense to me to be in that relationship because what I thought I wanted was to be in a committed relationship. And I was in a committed relationship. But because I didn't have the choice in all of those things, like I said, the location, the this, the that, in order to be with this person, my partner at the time, she'd moved to an area that I never wanted, and she'd bought a house that I never agreed with. So all of a sudden I take on those things as a burden that I would never have had in my life. But of course I was loyal to her. But you can see why it was unfulfilling for me. Not just the relationship, because I got a lot out of that too. Talking about my life in general, my attitude towards my life, my energy, my vibration, my frequency. When I did speak to people, the actual limited mindset I had. I was living from a place of unfulfillment. So everything that was fulfilling to me never seemed that way. This is a little personal story I'm giving you, right? How can you apply this story to something in your life? It doesn't have to be a replica of your relationships. But what is it in your life that you think you wanted? But really you've given up so much of what you are to get that thing. Therefore it feels unfulfilling even though you're doing what you want or you've got what you want. Fulfillment doesn't come from out there, guys. It comes from within here. And you can't get fulfillment from out there in here when in here isn't doing what it needs to be doing out there. It needs alignment. Now in that relationship, I didn't have it. I learned some amazing, beautiful things in that relationship, and I have nothing but gratitude for my ex-partner, right? And whatever she's doing in her world now. But the point of the story is that I lost who I was during that time. So of course it was very unfulfilling. So you can see how on the surface everyone would be like, oh, but you're in that committed relationship that you wanted, and she's great, and you got all these cool things together. Yeah. But that's the surface level shit. And we as humans, as much as we like to live in the shallow and live in the surface, that's all bullshit. None of us like to live there. The people that you consider to be the deepest ones in your life are the most real. The ones who live shallow and surface are the most guarded and protected. Because if they were their real, authentic selves, every human's deep. Most of us are all cut from the same cloth in terms of where we originate from. Very different here now with different missions, different roles, different paths. But it's many paths, same journey. So those that are deeper, more real. So if you're someone who feels unfulfilled, it's the deeper side in you trying to speak. It's the part in your body trying to get your attention. What with my story, what part of that story in terms of the metaphor of it, not so much the actual example, but the metaphor aspect of it, what part of that resonates with you? What is it in your life that you thought you wanted, that you've got, that really isn't landing for you? Once you know that, that's your starting point to change. That's where the work lives. Right? Don't get caught up in the illusion. Are you doing things that you thought you wanted, but really you were doing for someone else? Like my relationship example. Choosing to be somewhere and stay somewhere and give up all these things in order to have that relationship. But that was never the relationship I wanted. With the person it was, but the dynamic and the way it worked, it wasn't. You know, and this is something that you need to look at in your life. Are you brave enough to face the fact that you might have to lose something that you think you wanted, that you've got, for what you actually want and what you can actually get? This is part of our expansion opportunity here on Earth, as a soul, to grow, to evolve, to learn. You'll realize that whether it's ex-partners, whether it's ex-jobs, ex-events, or current ones of those things, they're all offering us amazing reflections to grow upon, as are we to them. Everything is a synchronous orchestration working at the same time for both people in every situation. But are you brave enough to look at your part and the reflections you've got and make that change? That's up to you. All right, but at least this video I know can help give you some clarity and some perspective and a different outlook as to why you're doing things that feel unfulfilling, even though in your mind or your heart or your overall energy, you thought that you're doing something that you actually wanted. This is the reason. Misalignment. You'll never feel unfulfilled ever in your life if you're doing things that are aligned. Just got to be brave enough to see it.